Hello and good evening, everyone. I'm Josh.
And I'm Kristen. Welcome to the Nightly from Hatch, a slumber party for pop culture lovers. Josh, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing pretty well tonight. I am loving that we've gotten some kind of warm during the day, cool in the evening weather lately. That's my favorite. And the new Tracy Morgan, Daniel Radcliffe sitcom, The Fall and Rise of Reggie Dinkins is really fun.
I haven't started it yet. It's good, though?
I really am enjoying it. And then DTF St. Louis. Have you heard of this?
Does DTF stand for?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm. It is a kind of comedy mystery starring Jason Bateman and David Harbour and Linda Cardellini, I believe. I'm not fully caught up yet, but we watched the first episode and they're all in over here.
Okay. I'm a big Linda Cardellini fan. Ever since Freaks and Geeks, I've been a big fan of hers. So
she's great.
I'll watch pretty much anything that she's in.
I think worth trying. I really loved the pilot. What have you been up to?
Well, I'm very late to the game, but I've been watching Sex Education. I originally, a few months ago, was asked to watch it because I was on a podcast talking about the depiction of teens on different TV shows. Mm-hmm. And so a few months back, I was told, can you watch a few episodes of this? And then I just haven't stopped watching it. And now I'm almost done with the fourth and final season.
Wow.
And I'm kind of sad because I'm like, oh no, the show's almost done for me now. And everybody is so interesting and flawed but funny on the show, and that's just such a nice mix. And even the people who seem kind of awful actually aren't necessarily bad people, so it's just a joy to watch these teenagers grow and change and learn. And the fact of the matter is the Sex Education seems like it's about the kids, but in a lot of ways it's also about the adults. And now cool. I'm at the age where I'm like, I think I'm way more like the adults than the kids on the show, but maybe I'm not. I don't know.
Do you have a show where you think they did the best depiction of teens, or the most compelling dramatically?
Well, I've been for the past few months co-hosting a recap podcast of My So-Called Life.
Oh, sure.
Starring Claire Danes and Jared Leto. And I'm so blown away by the writing of that show.
Wow.
And the acting is so good. It makes sense that Claire Danes has continued to be a mega star ever since that show, because she's so talented.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. But yeah, I think there's a lot of great content out there that has teens in it, but that doesn't necessarily mean only teens should watch those shows, in my opinion.
For sure. And there are some, right, where it goes from more realistic and grounded to more soapy and chaotic, Riverdale.
Yes.
I got little bits and pieces. My wife watched the whole series and I'm like, oh, this isn't about high school. This is just at a high school, but it's chaos.
Yes. And it's essentially a comic book, right? It's part of that whole Archie universe. So it's it doesn't have to be grounded in our reality.
I don't think anything has to be, but it's fun to see that spectrum.
Yeah. As I already mentioned, I'm a big Freaks and Geeks fan. Mm-hmm. Only one season, but still holds up in my opinion.
How much My So-Called Life is there?
There are only 19 episodes. It was one season. Yeah, it's one of the many one-season shows out there that I think was so good. And it's too bad it didn't go on longer. But maybe if it went on longer, I wouldn't love it so much.
Yeah. And it's also one that has such, I think, a strong imprint culturally on people, even though there are only 19 total episodes, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. A lot of the later teen shows, the writers and creators later said that they were inspired by My So-Called Life.
Cool.
They brought that ethos into their shows that they made 10, 20, or 30 years afterward.
Yeah, that's really amazing to have such an influence.
Absolutely.
Kristen, let's move into another round this evening of the Nightly Book Club.
From TV to books. Two great tastes that go great together, right?
I completely agree. Well, that's also my wife, when we met, it was at a party for the 5th anniversary of her Tumblr, where she took images from mostly TV, but sometimes movies and sports and stuff too, and paired them with captions from literature. So this is
that was the 90210.
Yeah, Slaughterhouse 90210.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. listeners, I'm sure a lot of you already know about Slaughterhouse 90210, but if you don't, it's just this amazing mashup of images from popular TV shows, essentially, with great literature quotes. Am I describing it wrong, Josh?
Nope, that's exactly right. And she holds so much of, like, she has documents, or she had documents that were like quotes that she loved and she would kind of hold on to. And then as, you know, stuff came up on TV, she would reach into the library, but she just has an incredible head for all those things. She's just like so smart and has such a great memory.
Yeah. And I think she was doing it long before anybody else was doing it.
Oh yeah. She was really a pioneer in it.
Nowadays, you'll see like museums even post some of their classical paintings with funny quotes that are from books with them. And it's like, nope, somebody else was doing it first.
It's even, I mean, you see it, not that this kind of thing has never been done before, but even in social media accounts like Art But Make It Sports. I don't know if you know that one, which I love, but it has a similar flavor of like, oh, it's like a kind of high-low culture pairing.
Love it. So you two first met at her party?
Yes, at her 5th anniversary blog party. And she did a reading that I couldn't make it to. And then a mutual friend brought me to the after party and we met. It's an extremely 2014 way to meet your partner, but that is how it happened.
Well, I might know a little bit more about that because circling back to what our original topic was, the book club.
Yes.
One of my most recent books I just got done reading told me a little bit more about how you and Maris met, because a book that I just absolutely loved was called Nice Try.
Oh my gosh.
Stories of Best Intentions
Kristen.
and Mixed Results by Josh Gondelman. I loved this book.
Oh my goodness.
I listened to it because I'm like, I need to hear Josh tell me these stories. You're a wonderful narrator, obviously.
Thank you.
And oh my gosh, I was laughing. I was cringing. I was filled with like such a warm feeling toward you and your kind heart and your great stories. And you're just such a great storyteller and comedian, and you never punch down, and you know how to make fun of yourself without also just turning yourself into, whoop, poor me. You know what I mean? Which is kind of like a tough act, I think. You know, it's a fine line between like self-effacing funny, where we all recognize ourselves, and self-effacing, I'm a sad sack.
Totally. I think there's a way. I mean, in writing, I think you have a little more control over it to kind of add nuance. But like on stage for stand-up, I think about it all the time, how I want to be able to make jokes about myself that still projects like a feeling of ease and comfort in front of the audience, you know, without like, I don't want to project like, I stink, this is bad, I hate me. I want it to feel like, oh, I have these like quirks and foibles that I'm aware of and think are funny, and I would like to let you in on this. And I'm so glad that came across in the book.
Oh, it does. And I just have to suggest all of you in our virtual slumber party, check out Josh's book. It really will put you in a good mood.
Aww.
It might make you feel less alone about certain embarrassing things you've done. I definitely felt that way. I'm like, I've done that embarrassing thing. But the way Josh writes about it is so humanizing, and just, it's like, hey, that's part of the human condition, folks. It's all good.
Kristen, that's so nice.
Really loved your book. Loved it.
I thank you so much. I am like trying to take in that very kind praise and not deflect. So I really want you to know that means a lot to me. I have a follow-up question. Did you count this as one of the 50 states for your 50 states book club?
No, this was just a totally separate read. Every once in a while, I'll read some of the 50 states books, and I'll be like, I need a break to just read something that feels less like an assignment and more like fun. And so your book was the one I'm like, I'm just going to have a fun book to read. And it totally fit the bill.
Oh, thank you so much. That means so much to me. And I appreciate you taking the time out of this big project when you needed a break to read my book.
Oh gosh, there's no need for thanks. I feel like I should thank you because you really made my life better letting me read your book. So thank you.
Well, while we're talking about your big project, we got a listener response via email. So would you mind sharing it with tonight's listeners?
Yes, Jolie wrote, Silas House is a phenomenal author from my hometown in southeastern Kentucky, and his book, Clay's quilt has been praised for its accuracy in telling a story set in modern 2001 Appalachia. Hope you'll consider adding this one to your list. Good luck. Wow, Jolie, thank you so much for the recommendation. I have not gotten to Kentucky yet, and I'm definitely adding this to my list as a potential Kentucky book because I was hoping to read an Appalachia located Kentucky book if possible. So this sounds perfect, Jolie. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
That's so cool. And as a reminder, if you listening now want to email us about books that you love, recommendations you have for us, hot takes, even if you have a book that you didn't love, well, we want to hear about it. So please reach out. Let us know at thenightly@hatch.co, thenightly@hatch.co. And we would love to hear your book opinions and maybe even share them on a future The Nightly Book Club.
Yeah, and bonus points if it's, a book from your home state that really captures the personality of your home state, because
Totally.
I'm still chugging away at that project. I'm 15 states in so far. Josh, I did jump ahead to Mississippi because you recommended a Mississippi book that your wife loved.
I also loved it.
Oh, good.
Yes, I loved it as well. But it was I always try to be clear when she recommends something to me because she has such good taste, and I'm just mooching off of her good taste.
Oh, but it's so good. It's called Trees by Percival Everett. It's set in Money, Mississippi. It's a detective story with a historical twist. It's incredibly clever. It's absurd. It is dark. I will say that. But it's a really good book. So that is my Mississippi book. I read that one since I last saw you too.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you liked it. I'm always like, oh, I hope people like my recommendations.
Your recommendations are so good. And then I just want to shout out one other book that I
Totally
read. Two Old Women by Velma Wallace. This one takes place in Alaska. And this is based on the Athabascan Indian legend passed along for generations in the upper Yukon River Valley of Alaska. It's about two elderly women who are left behind by their tribe during a brutal winter famine and how these elderly women survive. It is so good because I'm a sucker for all those survival reality shows.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like reading a book that's a survival reality show, but with a 75 and an 80-year-old woman doing all the stuff.
Wow.
Oh, it's so fun and it's so exciting. And I'm cheering for these ladies. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, I would be so worried for them if I was reading that book.
Oh, they are the picture of perseverance. They are flawed, but they're strong and they have a lot of experience they draw on. And I love cheering for an underdog. These ladies, it seems like they're underdogs in the beginning, but at the end, it's like, oh no, they know what they're doing. They're going to be fine.
That's so cool. Oh, that's such a good one. So have there been any other, have there been any books that really gave you a sense of place from a place that you're not familiar with outside of those two that you just mentioned?
Well, yeah, the Alaska book absolutely did.
Totally.
But I also, one book that gave me a sense of time and place was my Georgia book, Silver Sparrow by Tayari Jones. And this takes place in the 1980s in Atlanta. And I think my first visit to Atlanta was like 2017.
Mm-hmm.
So this book was almost like simultaneously time traveling.
Oh, yeah.
And visiting a little corner of Atlanta that everybody kind of knew each other in it. It's a small neighborhood school district in a mostly Black community in Atlanta. And there are two main female protagonists. One girl who is the illegitimate daughter of a man, and the other girl is the legitimate daughter of the same man. This man is a bigamist. He has two families, and it's really about these two teenage girls who go to the same high school.
Wow.
And the illegitimate daughter knows the whole story. The legitimate daughter has no idea that she has a half sister out there in the world, and that she's not even out there in the world. She's a few blocks away from her.
She's right there in the world. Yeah. I feel like that must be when you are the secret family, you must have to stay more clued in than the primary public facing family.
Yeah. Just you're already kind of a secret as the secret family, so you're kind of the keeper of secrets also.
Yeah, I feel that way. That sounds really fascinating.
Yeah, so recommend that book as well.
Cool.
But Josh, I want to hear about what you've been reading. I'm sorry, I feel like I've been going on and on about what I've been reading.
No, I love this. I've been reading Inherent Vice by Thomas Pynchon. I might have even mentioned this to you before because I've been going so slow. But it is like kind of a oddball private investigator story. And I've been really enjoying it, but it's such a loosey-goosey kind of silly. I think it's what they call kind of a shaggy dog story, right? Where like it's not about solving the mystery in a tight, propulsive way. It's more about just like all this weird stuff that happens on the way to the end, which I love. That's like The Big Lebowski, I think, is an example of that, where it's like one of my favorite genres of entertainment is like our hero meets a bunch of weirdos, and this is that for sure.
Yes. That's also like a lot of Carl Hyacint books, I feel like, where it's like, it's kind of about the universe that his characters live in, less than about like, must find out what happens next.
Totally. I felt that way about, I haven't read a ton of Hyacint, but we really loved the show Bad Monkey based on his novel on Apple TV. And I'm excited for the new season.
That's the perfect illustration, I think, of shaggy dog stories right there.
Excellent. Well, that's, I like love that vibe. And then I'm like excited to finish it, in part because I'm really enjoying it, but also I have my friend Kirsten King's new novel called A Good Person. And it is about a millennial woman who's in a situationship with a young man, and it goes awry, and she puts like a hex on him, like I think that's very, it's in vogue now to seek out the council of witches. And the hex works too well, I think, is the premise of the book. So I'm like really excited. It's supposed to be very funny in like kind of a dark comedy way, which I like can't wait to read.
Oh my gosh, this is right up my alley. I just added it to my hold list at the library. So once it comes out, I'll be first in line, hopefully.
Yeah, it's been getting a lot of great press, and it's like, I don't know, Kirsten and I have been chatting a little bit because it's so, it feels so like raw and exposed to be promoting work that you're doing. I imagine you found this as well, like in any kind of capacity, but like I've really been loving seeing all the exciting press and like best of spring lists and stuff, and like her cheerleading. I think like it's a really, it's thinking about it as like shilling yourself. I get feels really tough, but like I always try with something like, even, something like the show, try to talk about it as like a thing I'm proud of that I would love for people to enjoy, rather than like, oh, please buy this. I just need you to do this for me because otherwise I'm really out of my butt,
Yes. And also, I mean, one thing I like to keep in mind, there's that whole mindset of like, oh, I'm being a salesman. Oh, I'm shoving things down people's throats. But then the other way to think of it is like, I think this is something that might add some joy to your life. Mm-hmm. And you telling me about your friend Kristen's book, A Good Person, that made me so excited. I put it on my holds list right away.
That's so nice.
Yeah. And so why not shout out things that you think people will enjoy, including the things you're working on, including the things your friends are working on. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to shout out the bad stuff.
Right. Of course. And you don't have to feel like you always have to be shoehorning your own work, regardless, whether you're an author or you work at a flower shop or you're a contractor or whatever, like you don't have to be pivoting everything back to plug your work and like try to drum up business. But when it is an appropriate time, or like when there's exciting news, oh, New York Times best books, or like, oh, we finally opened our brick and mortar store after like years of only doing pop-ups. Like, I think that's exciting, and people want to know about it and support businesses and people and artists that they like and admire.
Oh, absolutely. I would be so mad if Tina Fey never told me she had another show again, even though she had 30 more shows out. Things like that. It's like,
totally.
Why not let the world know that you have a fun project that we all want? Let us know. Don't hide your light.
I agree. I'm exactly right there with you. Okay, before we finish for the evening, I want to hear about your to read pile. What do you have on your nightstand that you're excited to get into soon, other than A Good Person, obviously?
All right, so I have a to be read pile at all times of celebrity memoirs. And the 3 celebrity memoirs that are currently on the list are Kids, Wait Till You Hear This! Exclamation point by Liza Minnelli.
Wow, what a great title.
And it's so Liza, right?
Yes.
It's Liza. Oh, I'm Liza.
When you did her voice, I was like, of course, I couldn't imagine hearing it otherwise.
I just feel like she is such a wild card. You never know what's going to come out of her mouth.
Yeah.
You never know what she's going to do. So I feel like this book's going to be a really fun ride.
That's exciting.
So that's on the list. Also, Christina Applegate, her memoir, You with the Sad Eyes, which has been little bits and pieces of the book have been published in all sorts of newspapers and magazines recently. So that publicity thing worked. And now I'm like, I need to check that book out. So that's also on the list.
Excellent.
And then Adult Braces by Lindy West. Lindy West, who wrote Shrill, and she used to work for Jezebel and The Stranger and a lot of other places. So I kind of put her in the celebrity memoirs category, even though some people might know her best as a culture critic or journalist. But to me, she's kind of a celebrity.
Oh, that all sounds really fun. And are you going to alternate those with some of the 50 States books?
Yes. Absolutely. Cool. Absolutely. If a book gets too heavy, if that book that Jolie recommended in Kentucky gets too heavy, maybe that's when it's time to read Liza.
Yep.
Right?
Great choice. I love your methodology. And thank you so much for filling me in. I love these updates about all the reading you've been doing.
Well, on that note, Josh, I'm feeling ready to go to bed now. I've gotten all the books from my head out into the world. I've gotten to catch up with you, and now I'm ready to hit the hay.
Me too. I think I'm even too tired to read myself to sleep talking about books tonight. Good night, Kristen.
Good night, Josh.